Good morning and welcome back to the NWR Virtual Investor Conference Series 11. I'm your host, Banjo Blake, and up next we have AAA video game developer, PlaySide Studios. PlaySide is Australia's largest publicly listed video game developer, and it provides titles in a range of categories, including self-published games based on original intellectual property and games developed in collaboration with studios such as Disney, Pixar, Warner Bros, and Nickelodeon. This morning, I'm joined by CEO and Managing Director of PlaySide, Gerry Sakkas, and Non-Executive Director, Mark Geopoulos. A reminder to attendees that you can submit a question via the Q&A panel on Zoom, and we'll address these at the conclusion of the session. Thank you both for joining the NWR conference today, and please take it away.
Thank you very much. My name is Gerry Sakkas. I have COVID at the moment, so that's why I'm not on webcam. But I thought I'd jump in anyway and make sure that we commit to what we say we're going to do. But first of all, thank you all for coming today. PlaySide is a AAA game developer based in Melbourne. We are the largest game developer in Australia. We now have over 150 staff. We're working on a multitude of different products across many different verticals within gaming. So we'll go to the next slide, Mark. We've been doing this for about 11 years now. For those who don't know us, and yes, we have worked with many Hollywood companies, gaming companies in the past, along with our own original IP. This quarter was a really big one for us. It was our biggest quarter yet. We actually did more this quarter than we did last financial year. So we did 13.76 million, which was a 403% increase. We also have a strong cash position now of 40 million. This quarter was helped, next slide, Mike. This quarter was helped by, the biggest part of it was our Web3 push, which was Beans. We launched a NFT collection called Beans NFTs, and that accounted for 8.4 million this quarter. So I'll get into that a bit later. The other major parts of this quarter was also Age of Darkness, which is our major PC title that had its second large update with the launch of one of our new heroes. And we also signed a major work-for-hire agreement with Activision Blizzard, who is, as most of you know, one of the world's largest gaming companies. These are some of the titles that we're working on currently. We've got a really global, world-class selection of brands that we work on at PlaySide, from our own brands to brands that we work with ourselves, and we license these properties, such as Godfather and Legally Blonde. So I'll get into each of these specifically now. So the mobile license title is a big part of the company. For the last year and a bit, we've been working on two major titles, which is Legally Blonde and Godfather. Legally Blonde is a puzzle game set for a more female audience, and Godfather is a idol combat battling game, which is more male. So Legally Blonde has entered soft launch phase, with hard launch expected to occur this current quarter. And Godfather will enter soft launch this current quarter and will hard launch just at the beginning of next financial year. We're also currently in conversations with multiple other Hollywood agencies around their different licenses they've got, looking to go even bigger with some of our next licenses. So we've got a history and a future in PC console development. What that essentially stands for is most of us have come from the world of console. I myself was lead game designer at EA Games back in the day, and most of the original founding of the company, the people that came across were from EA. We've then since added people from Epic Games, Riot Games, a whole bunch of large AAA developers. So it was only natural that our next step would be to go from mobile to console. So Age of Darkness Final Stand was our first launch into that space, and it did really, really well. The global launch, it launches into what's called early access, which is essentially a beta. Global launch is planned for October this year, around that. So we'll see how that goes. We've got really good hopes for Age of Darkness, and the community are really, really excited for that game. It's got like a 90%, 80 to 90% rating on Steam, which is really, really high. So we're really, really excited for that one. And it's sort of put us on the map and allowed us to hire really, really good talent. World Boss is one of our next ones. That's a collaboration with two of the largest influencers in the world, who are Laserbeam and Fresh. They're major Fortnite influencers based in Australia. I think they're the '1 Australian streamers. They've got a combined following of 29 million subscribers. So this one here it's got a planned EA launch for Q1 of FY23. And it'll sort of start to roll out as almost like a marketing push among their friends, and then a beta with a smaller audience, and then it will launch. Another title we're working on is called Pillage Party, which is a collaboration with Thomas Middleditch, who is the lead actor on the HBO series Silicon Valley. That one's planned for Q4 of FY23. So it's a bit later on. That one there will be launching mainly on console, so Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and then also on PC via Steam. It's a little screenshot of World Boss. Awesome. So as many of you may know, we also acquired Dumb Ways to Die at the end of last year. Dumb Ways to Die is a major gaming and media campaign that was started with an ad campaign for Metro Trains. It's had hundreds of millions, 400 million downloads across all the different games on mobile. We ended up taking that on, and we've started to push it now much more into all the different verticals that it had. I guess the issue with a train company owning a game or a media push like this on YouTube, it's never going to be their sort of main priority. We're really making it our main priority. So we've already grown the TikTok, for instance, from I think 500,000 users to 1.2 million. So we're slowly expanding across all the different verticals that this brand touches. So one of the main ones is by creating the next Dumb Ways to Die game, which will be Dumb Ways to Die 4, and that should be coming out in Q3 FY23. We put out a teaser trailer for that, which was literally like 8 seconds long, and it had 200,000 views on YouTube. So it just shows the power of this brand. And that was with zero advertising whatsoever. Development has also commenced on 2 casual titles. One is a smaller casual title, which will be coming out in Q1 FY23. And the other one is on a puzzle type game, very similar to what we've done with Legally Blonde, and that will come out in Q2 FY23. We've also commenced development on a subscription app, which we're really excited for, which we will announce in a couple of months on what that is. But it's going after a completely different audience altogether. And our hope there is to grow that slowly over time as well. And then along with this, we're talking to major streaming companies. We're talking to major toy companies. There's a whole bunch of different things that we're doing with this brand that will hopefully, bit by bit, make it back to the major brand that it used to be.
Perhaps even bigger.
Hopefully even bigger. A good example, I guess, of how big Dumb Ways to Die is, in the background of people's minds at least, is Beans. And so with Beans, we took the Dumb Ways to Die brand and we launched a NFT collection based on the Beans characters from the game and from the show. And so they did very, very well for us. As I said, they did 8.4 million rev. We have now also launched Beans Pets, which is a new part of the brand that we've created ourselves that never existed before. And that's the pets for the beans, and they look really, really cool. They have now been, they were airdropped to everyone that had 2 beans, so they're actually free for everyone. And they're already worth, I think, a few $100s. So they were free to be airdropped, and then they are now going to be revealed in the next day or two. I'm pretty sure. I think tomorrow they get revealed. Tomorrow the day after. So it's all happening in the beans space. And then we've got the 3D wallet viewer that we're working on, which will essentially take the 2D beans and turn them into a 3D viewing platform. Basically, with NFTs at the moment on Web3, you can essentially go and look at somebody's wallet and you can see the 2D different items they've got, but it doesn't really have the best viewing experience. We're coming up with a way to showcase what people are owning in 3D. We'll be launching that with Beans first, and then hopefully we can bring in other products. For instance, we could bring in Bored Apes or anything else that we're doing. So it's a really, really cool initiative, and we hope that we can sort of push people down this path of what NFTs should really look like on the internet. The Beanland MMO is the major one. We've now put out a trailer for that on our Twitter, and that got people really excited about it. We've been working on this for a few months. It's in Unreal Engine 5, which is a very, very interesting engine. It's very realistic in the way it looks, so you can do some really, really cool graphics really fast. So it's great working in that engine. That should be out in the second half of FY23, and that will allow people to bring their NFTs into the game and actually play as them as well. So it's a really, really interesting game, that one. So this is our mobile casual collection. That's another part of what we do on mobile. The casual collection is they're usually smaller games that we put out, but they actually perform quite well. And so almost all of the mobile revenue last quarter was from our portfolio of older games that have been performing very consistently throughout the last few quarters. So we are now developing more of those games. We've got 2 more casual titles under development. One is based on Battle Simulator Warfare, which is one of our highest performing titles, and the other one is based on Idle Era 51. And so they're new versions of that. And then we also have plans to bring others as well. But we also continue to expand the products that are on the market, and that's how we keep them performing quarter on quarter. We continuously update them. We continuously push the monetization, the user acquisition, and we keep players playing. And that's a really big, important part of mobile gaming. And these games really allow us to do that. So another major part of the business, and what a lot of people know us for, is our AAA work for hire. We're currently doing work for hire for Activision Blizzard and 2K Games, two of the largest games companies in the world. And along with that, we're also doing a major work for hire agreement with Meta. Meta, for those who don't know, is Facebook, their new brand. What we're doing with Meta is we're actually helping them build the metaverse. And we've been helping them do that for better part of the last year now, and we're hoping that relationship continues over the next few years. It's a really interesting initiative that Facebook's doing, and we think that we can be a major part of helping grow that division. We're also working with one of the largest crypto companies in the world, which is Shiba Inu. We work directly alongside them, so we learn quite a lot from them about crypto and NFTs and Web3. So it's a really good relationship to have. And then also with Wax as well, who is a layer 2 based Web3 platform, who also do NFTs and gaming stuff. So we like to learn a lot from our partners, and hopefully we can provide the same value back, but we always try and work with the biggest in those industries so we can learn as fast as we can about moving into them. And that's exactly what we did with the Web3 space, and hopefully with console we're doing the same with Activision and 2K. That's it for me.
Awesome. Thanks for that presentation, Gerry. And it was great to get an insight, especially into the beans facet of PlaySide. Unfortunately, that's all we've got time for. Thanks for everyone for joining today's session. And thank you, Gerry and Mark.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.